Okay, hello parents. It is Mrs. Beckett here, Zoe Beckett here. I am your children's teacher 1 day a week, and one of the things I've been taking charge of this semester is their spelling. So there's a program I have put in place for your students for this term, and I wanted to talk you through what I'm doing with them in class and then show you what I would ideally love for them to be doing for homework 3 times a week. So basically each week they get given a new list of words and I put it in a package. So it's a combination of activities and things for them to do with those words, and then when they come back to me the following week we do a short test, make sure they've retained most of those spelling words, and then we move on with a new list of words. So what came back from this particular group of students from their spelling results from the end of last term is that while there's been some really great progress, and there really has been, what was a little bit concerning was just the gaps that existed in some of the really basic spelling blocks. And those basic spelling blocks are just the vowel sounds, long and short vowel sounds. And of course we can spell long vowel sounds lots of different ways. So what Miss Fee and I put our heads together and we came up with something that we think covers those basic spelling blocks, and we want to cover that for this 9-week term with the hope that by the time they finish year 5 they've got some really strong solid spelling building blocks to move into year 6 with. So I'll talk you through what I'm doing in class and then show you what I would love for them to be doing during the week 3 times a week. So in class, they get given this. This is a word package. It's their word list, and then it's some activities to do with those words. So in class, they usually start with this. They usually watch a video that I've made that teaches them the spelling rule around the new sounds that they're doing for that particular week. So for example, this week they have watched, this is one they've done. So this week they watched my spelling video that's up on YouTube. If you were interested to watch it with them again or just wanted to spy on what they're doing, you can find that on YouTube quite easily, or they'll be able to show you. Then I would get them to take notes from watching the video. So this is what they do in class. It might take them 10 minutes max. And it's just a good way of getting them to really focus on simple spelling rule that is introduced for that week. Then I will get them to do some activities using those words, hopefully bringing in the spelling rules that they've learnt. So they've got an activity sheet to do, they've got sort their words into category type thing. Now this is where the homework kicks in, and my ideal is, now what I will have in the word package is a sheet that looks like this, and there'll be 3 copies of it. So let's pick this one because it looks about the right size. Might be a little bit bigger than that. It'll have about 20 words. So it'll be there 20 words for the week, and the words will include the new spelling patterns. So for example, this week was the 3 different ways to spell A. So we've got magic E A, AIA, and AY. So they're the 3 new sounds they learnt this week. And so what I'd like them to do 3 times, obviously not for this week, but because it's already going to be nearly over, but for following week, they'll have a new one of these, and I would love for them to do 3 times a week, go through this with you. They say the word, they trace the word, and they write the word. If they get those 3 right, you just go tick, 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 and they repeat that process for the full word list, and that would be 1 activity, 1 homework activity. So it says here, parents please tick words that are read fluently and of course then traced and spelt fluently. So what I will then do is when I get this package back at the start of the next week, I see which words they're struggling with, and my intention is to make flashcards of those words. So really, really hammer those words that they're having trouble with. And so that is one part of the homework. And the other thing that Miss V and I decided to do alongside that, so you can see here there'll be 1, 2, 3. So let's say you did 1 sheet with them, you just tick that off, or they can tick it. Now at the same time, I would love you to be going through this. So each week your child is going to have these on a ring, and each week they'll be added to. So this is what they're going to have on their ring for this week. So I've put on the basic short vowel sounds. The short vowel sounds have a yellow sticker. So vowel sounds, and this is what they will look through, and you will supervise them doing this. So they would say a as in apple, e as in egg, I as in igloo, o as in orange, a as in umbrella. Now here, same short vowel sounds, but they're at the end or towards the end of a word. So a as in pizza, e as in bucket, I as in dolphin, o as in iron, a as in cactus. Okay, so they're the 5 short vowel sounds expressed at the start of a word and the middle of a word. So they're going to go through those each time with you. And then what's going to be added on, so for example this week they're going to have A as in cake, and that's called Magic E because the E comes and modifies that A. A as in snail, A as in hay. You could just do that, it should take less than a minute. And when you've done that with them once, so 3 times a week, you would do one of these say trace and write sheets, tick, 1 vowel strip practice, tick. So just to make it really clear, so we do most of this in class, but for homework, and this is of course just ideal. I know some weeks are better than others, and I know sometimes it just doesn't come together. But ideally, and please feel free to enlist the help of an older sibling, obviously an older responsible sibling. I personally do that sometimes. I have children in my house who are old enough to supervise reading with my littlest. I don't like to do it every time, but sometimes needs must, as we all know. So, but the idea is if they revisit this 3 times a week, the impact on the growth in their spelling is huge, as opposed to just them doing it once a week in class or even twice a week in class. So if you can do this, it's going to have a really big impact on your child's spelling progress for this term. So homework 3 times a week to do the say, trace and write sheet, and to do a vowel strip practice. So each week their vowel strip ring little thingy will have 2 or 3 more added each week. So by the end of term they'll have quite a bundle of sounds on there. So the other thing to note here is we've got Spelling City. That is a website that we have registered as a school. So that is something else. They're very welcome to do some of that homework as well. That is not something you would need to supervise. But if they ever say, oh, I want to do some Spelling City homework, they can do that, and they can note in this box which ones they did, or even just tick if it's too much of a hassle to do that. So just to reiterate, most of this is done in class. This is what it looks like. So your student will come home with this and this in a ring. And ideally for homework, 3 times a week, they go through their say, trace and write sheet with you and go through the vowel strip practice. If you wanted to get really adventurous with the vowel strip practice, you can always say it and get them to write it. So you could say a as in apple and get them to write it. You could say A as in snail and test if they can write down AI. So there's some variations with this vowel strip practice. You don't have to stick with just them looking and saying. However, that's the quickest. So I know some of you will be more adventurous than others. That's just the way it is. That's no problem. So I like to give you the very simple version, but also just mention that you could be more adventurous if you felt confident. But if you can give up 5 to 10 minutes 3 times a week to help your student with the spelling, I expect that we'll see some really, really good results by the end of term. So please feel free to touch base with me, pop in at the beginning of the day if you can catch me just before class, or email me. Very, very happy to receive emails from any of you, and I'll email this video link through to you so you can email me back, and I'll make contact that way. Okay, thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you soon. Bye.